Go to questions.
Hats off to Davenport. I thought they played really well today in all three phases. Physical, fast, talented on the edges and their skill spots. Give them a lot of credit. I thought our guys had a great week of practice. Showed up this morning ready to go. I appreciated our effort throughout the game. I thought we played hard. If there's anything without watching the tape that I think I can take from the sideline is I just felt like the execution offensively was severely lacking. Obviously, looking at the numbers, you don't have to look too far into that, but couldn't get any rhythm. I thought our defense played really well to only be down 2 scores at the half after the way that the first half went. Give them a lot of credit. We needed to come out and get a stop in the third quarter. Weren't able to do that, and then now you're playing from 3 scores. So hats off to Davenport, our guys. It's not the end of the world, 3-1 now, but we got to regroup and look at some things on Monday throughout the week to make sure that our guys are mentally ready for the speed and athleticism that we're going to start seeing in league play now moving forward.
Coach, what was different between the first half and that first drive of the second half? As far as what they were doing or what you were not able to do?
Nothing. I don't know how many. I don't have it in front of me here. I'm not sure how many plays they ran in that first drive of the second half. But I felt like that was. They asserted themselves a little bit at that point, running the football as well as they did, as many reps as they did. I felt like they did a nice job staying patient on that drive. Taking what they were getting. They didn't, get bored with running it for, the chunks and put the ball in the air. Unfortunately, we get down to it, and I give our defense a lot of credit for standing up when they did. We get the stop, which would have forced a field goal at that point. And instead, we're in the neutral zone, and they get one more crack at it, and then it ends up being 7 points. So, just a tough day all around in terms of there was never any momentum in our favor. Couldn't move the ball offensively, couldn't get a takeaway defensively. The one time the ball's on the ground on that kickoff, they dribble it for 20 yards and still fall on it. It's just, it wasn't our day.
You've talked about the little things, the procedural things, a lot of penalties today. What do you think was different in this game that these guys just couldn't get it together and focus?
Yeah, I don't. From an offensive standpoint, their D-line was better than we were up front today. Run game, pass game, it didn't matter what the situation was. If we there's 2 passes I'm thinking of right now that are caught 15 to 20 yards down the field, and they come back for holding penalties. We had a tough time up front with their speed and athleticism. And at the end of the day, again, something we're gonna have to look at when we get to film. But I'm fairly confident saying that most of the game they were only bringing 4, which allowed them to drop everybody off into coverage. And you got guys at the point of attack from the LOS. And then another guy over the top of it. It was hard for our guys to get any space. I mean, we hit a couple, within that 5, 6, 10-yard range, but we just could not stretch the field. And I give their guys a lot of credit for that. They played hard and had a couple games that gave our guys troubles up front. And we're able to get home, or at least pressure Alex to where we had to get off of our launch point, and then the whole thing's blown up at that point. So, defensively, I don't know that. We don't ever go into the game expecting people to be able to run the football as efficiently as they did, but they did. I mean, they're talented, right? The best back in our league last year is now on their roster. Up front, I thought they were big, physical, got color covered up. And then, I got to give them credit as well on when we did get guys with chances to have negative plays, they were spinning out of it or running through it or whatever. So, again, I'll never question our effort from our guys and our toughness. I just felt like we got beat today, and it's that simple.
You kind of mentioned a little bit about not creating separation offensively. It sort of looked like Willis couldn't get open, Champion couldn't get open, no matter what they did throughout the day.
Again, I think we talked about this after the game last week, that now that we're in the league, everybody's going to play us that same exact way. And, you got talented corners. Big, they had 6'3", 6'1" today. The other one, 5'11", physical. So, we've got to start doing some things to be able to free up some of our guys rather than leaving them one-on-one. It was in the game plan for today. We just could not get into a rhythm to be able to get to some of those plays. So, you're going back and forth early in the game. Can you get the run game going? Can you spread them out? See if you can spring something, the Q runs, whatever. And we just couldn't get anything going. Next thing you know, you're in 3rd and 7 again. And that's not where we want to be against anybody, let alone a team with that much talent in their front four.
From your perspective, what did you see from Alex's progression? Was he missing reads or was that?
No, I mean, the one thing about playing that position is you got enough on your plate as it is. When there's somebody at your feet or on top of you on every single time you're trying to throw the football, that starts to play into the head. Now, we got to get him more comfortable with standing in there, and at times you're going to have to wear one. But he's still young from that perspective in terms of the feel in the pocket. But again, I've been saying this for 2 weeks as well. As he gets more healthy, we'll be able to start moving the pocket a little bit. There was some stuff we did early in the game where we got him outside of it, and he's more comfortable out there. But, there's times where, when the game's going 100 miles an hour, does he miss a couple reads? Yep. But that's part of the maturation process, and he's coming. I felt like, the one play that we got roughed on, where the ball ended up a little bit too far over the middle of the field. That, without watching it, that's the one that comes back to mind where on that one, either check it down to somebody else or just throw the thing away. But, those plays where the ball's floating over the middle of the field where their team has a chance to make a play when you're trying to take a shot, that's the stuff that we need to get out of him. Missing a couple reads on quick game or when we're in drop back, I can live with that, right? As long as we're not putting the ball in jeopardy, we can coach him on the other stuff. So he's coming. Again, we'll have to watch it to see exactly what the overall grade was. But again, when you get in no rhythm, 22 plays I think it was again today at halftime. We had 18 last week. And then I don't know how many 3-and-outs in the 3rd and 4th quarter. So, you cannot put that all on the queue. It's that simple. So we got to be better everywhere.
So like you said, when you tried to throw the ball, it seemed like there was pressure on pretty much every play.
Yep.
Is that just credit to their guys for their talent, or something you identified scheme-wise?
No, I mean, again, they're good. I do think that, you're playing a couple different guys up front this weekend. We had one of our starting interior guys gone for today. So you got some new bodies in there, and unfortunately, it's not a lead that you're getting those reps with where you're growing up a little bit on the fly. Instead, it's against the number 16 team in the country that's got athletes everywhere, and now you're asking guys that haven't played yet or much this fall to go block those kind of dudes over and over again. You get behind by 2 or 3 scores, and they know you have to throw it to get back in the game. Makes it even harder. So not making any excuse for our guys. We need to be much better up front. They know that, but we've got to get that stuff corrected before we get to next week, because Wayne's going to have the same thing.
Were you guys ready for that level of physicality that they brought? And defensively, was it another instance where they were just on the field too much and they're getting gas?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't find the number here, but 41 to 18 in time of possession. Of course, they're on the field too much, right? We defended 73 plays. We only ran 43 plays offensively. So the physicality, no. I do not think that we were outmatched from a physicality standpoint or effort or anything from that standpoint. But when you cannot get any kind of rhythm going offensively, and you're constantly going back on the field defensively, at some point, somebody's going to run through an arm tackle or whatever. It's just the way the game goes. So, but no, I will never, like I said earlier, I'll never question our effort or our toughness. Mentally, we'll be a little bit slow. Does our urgency need to pick up? I can get on board with that. But the toughness and the effort, that I felt like that was never in question, even from the sideline view. We'll watch the film, maybe it was, right? But I don't feel like that right now.
In terms of their passing game, what did you feel about your secondary today?
I thought they did a heck of a job. I thought, to give up 150 yards passing to that team with the talent they have, we'll sign up for that every single weekend with the guys that we're going to see. So, again, do you want to give up 200 yards rushing? Absolutely not. But that side of the football, I thought, played their butts off. You know, when you cannot score points, 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing, doesn't matter what it is at that point. If you're not going to be able to score as well or as hard as they played, you know, you give up 28, 7 of it being a punt return. You know, if we would have gave up 21 points to them and done what I thought we were capable of doing offensively, we're patting everybody on the back for only giving up 21 to that team. So, you know, hindsight's 20/20. Obviously, you got to score some points to be in the game.